Saying that I like Slay the Spire is a huge understatement. I love this game so much. I've spent a lot of time on it, got every achievement, beat the game the highest difficulty, played a bunch of mods, and even tried making one myself. So you could probably imagine my excitement when Slay the Spire 2 was announced. And if you're watching the video soon after uploading, it's probably going to release in a bit. And as a challenge, I gave myself 2 weeks to rebuild the first act of the game before the sequel releases, all from memory. No references, no peeking, well, maybe just a little bit for the art, but for the mechanics, pure memory. And to think that this project would be manageable would be a mistake. And I did in fact make that mistake. So I started with the obvious part, combat. Drawing cards, selecting targets, and a basic turn structure, along with my somewhat okay looking art. I allowed myself to peek at the original work once before drawing, otherwise it would look a lot worse. But somehow we have the Ironclad, the simple starter character, perfect for a lower scope project. Anyway, back to combat, there's still a lot more to it. Draw piles, discard piles, energy counters, and manual turn ending. It all seemed simple until I needed the enemies to fight back. In the real game, they usually show their intents so that you can play around them. Block when they're attacking, go berserk when they are not, you get the idea. The system will need to randomly pick the enemy's moves, show it to the player, and execute it when the player ends their turn. While it was complicated, we are barely getting started. Good thing we only need to do the first act, right? Another thing you should know about Slay the Spire. As a card game, it has a lot of cards. I mean a lot. I need some sort of system where I can easily create new cards and custom behaviors without having to code it every time. So I came up with this system using Godot's resources, where you can just create a new card resource, add all the fancy effects that you want, and all it takes is just a few clicks to make a completely new card. Well, of course, if you want something more unique, you'd have to code it, but this will be a huge time saver regardless. And then we have powers. Strength, weak, vulnerable, dexterity. These powers modify the damage and block values on your cards. So there has to be some calculations done with it. But the issue wasn't that I couldn't properly calculate the final values that would have been modified by the powers. It's just that I need to show the players a live preview of the value change before they even use the cards. And my card system wasn't built to change values dynamically, so there was some much needed refactoring to do. And now the values on the cards go through all the appropriate calculations before they make their way back onto the card. And once that system worked, I reused the same system on the enemy's intents too, since they can also have powers. It was quite a pain to get everything updated properly, but once it was done, everything became modular and expandable. So anyway, like anyone's brain, mine started to think for a bit. It's only Act 1. And then I remembered all the mechanics that are needed for Act 1. Gold, card rewards, the map, campfires, shops, relics, potions, events, meow, elites, bosses. It's only Act 1. And the map system alone was quite a nightmare. It's randomly generated and I don't really get the logic behind it. So the best I could do is this messy overlapping lines, which may hurt your brain looking at it. In any case though, it does work, just not the prettiest thing to look at. It's the 20th of February, day 4 of the challenge. And I woke up to see the final trailer of Slay the Spire 2, where, after the absolute cinema of a trailer, they finally put a specific release date, March 5th. So we have a deadline, and only a small fraction of the mechanics. Either I lock in, or I leave. And so I went on an art spree, getting the relic system done, adding stuff like the Ironclad starting relic, Burning Blood, which heals you a bit after ending fights. And it's also time to replace the Godot test enemy and bring in an even greater variety, including the slimes, the cultist, jawworm, and the Gremlin Gang. And I also worked on the elites along with their unique behaviors, like how the Lagavulin sleeps and needs you to either wait or attack it to wake it up. The Tri-Sentries that clog your deck with dazed cards. And finally the scary Gremlin Knob that gets really mad when you play skill cards. And now only bosses remain in the enemy department. Bosses were a bit of a problem. Slime boss splits at half HP, Hexaghost attacks can scale with your health, and the Guardian swaps between offensive and defensive mode when attacked. And these are all some very special behavior which I didn't really consider early on in development, and I really don't think that I'd have the time to make it fully working. So I made a few compromises, and by a few I mean a lot. Slime boss doesn't split at all, he just clogs your deck and then hits hard. Hexaghost doesn't get any of his health scaling attacks, and I did try with the Guardian, but it is kind of buggy. I mean, I had to do it. Looking at the time left, the choice was to either make a finished product or finish before March 5th, and the choice was pretty clear. Well, it may not be identical to the original, but it works. And by March 2nd, I was exhausted. I was crossing out the last few systems as soon as I could, like potions. I only added the ones that didn't need specific targets, just to make it easy for me. The shop where you can buy cards, potions, and even remove cards. Niao, who will give you some starting bonuses on each run. Random events with some cool dialogue. And added a bunch of relics too, like the kunai and shuriken, which track how many attack cards are played, and award you with dexterity or strength. And there's another one, Charon's Ashes, which does damage when a card exhausts. These were just some of the few big examples, and now relics open up more opportunities for synergies. Now the runs are pretty much fully playable, assuming you don't get caught to any of the soft locking bugs. Finally, let's package it with the main menu, and I named it Stab the Steeple, because it sounded funny. But look, a fully playable Act 1 in about 2 weeks, all from memory, kinda. Well, was it perfect? No. Is the code clean? Absolutely not. But I'm still proud of it. The game is very system heavy, and even just building a fraction of what's there in the game gave me a whole new appreciation for how well designed the original is. And I absolutely cannot wait for the new game to come out. Thank you to everyone at Megacrit for making this game, even if there was a chance that you'd be watching. The game is really important to me, and made me fully confident in using Godot when the Unity controversy happened after I found out that Slay the Spire 2 was going to be made on Godot. Anyway, if you wanted to play it yourself, you can. But if you're also a game dev and want to dive deeper into the technical stuff, the game is open source, and you can check out the awful code for yourself. All the links will be in the description. And if you'd like to see me make Bellatro as well, you can check out this video right here. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. It helps out a lot. Anyway, hope to see you next time. Bye bye.